Hey folks, Valentin the Mad here, and today's interview is not about the usual subject, but it's still very much about response. I interviewed Matt, the creator of Severed Steel, a fast-paced action game with completely responsive environments. Seriously, everything aside for the level's boundaries can get destroyed. So we talked about the game, the main features, the destruction, and Matt showcased the mechanics and how they work in real time. As always, timestamps by themes and questions are in the description. Now, without further ado, here it is. Hi, welcome to the channel. Let's begin with your introduction.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this. I'm Matt. I am the developer of Severed Steel. I guess you could say it's a one-man project, but I get some help with the music, and I'll sometimes contract out some art. I've been working on this for getting close to 2 years now. It's like kind of an action-ish, stylish FPS game.
So what are the inspirations for the game?
The major influences for Severed Steel are games that I played as a kid a lot. Max Payne 2 is a big one. Fear is a big one. And a mod for Half-Life called The Specialists. Just games where it was like really interactive, stylish gun combat with bullet time. Maybe that's kind of the games I loved as a kid. There's also some more newer influences that I've enjoyed as an adult. Hotline Miami for sure. Mirror's Edge a little bit, the stun system. And obviously Super Hut is a big influence. So I've kind of trying to jam all these games I've loved over the years together into sort of my dream first-person shooter.
Good stuff. And is there a story planned?
Yeah, so the game takes place kind of in this like underground post-apocalyptic living survival bunker. You play as a character Steel, who is, I guess you could say she was betrayed by the people who run this bunker. And the story is about her getting her vengeance. We're planning for it to be told through like kind of comic book strips between levels.
Ah, that's cool. Very cool. And what are going to be the main features of the game?
So I can just show some gameplay here. So will this?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that might be better just to show than to tell. So I just spawned in. So the game takes place in these pretty small, like intense levels. You play as a character who has one arm, and on her other arm is an arm cannon, which can be used to destroy the environment. So the entire world is destructible. I've aggroed these guys. Every wall can be destroyed, and you can use that to create shortcuts to the environment. Because the character is one-handed, you have to steal weapons from enemies instead of reloading. And you can see on my gun here, the little blue light indicates the amount of ammo left in this gun. It's getting low. Maybe I'll take this guy's shotgun and continue my work. There's a whole stunt system, so you can see I'm sliding around. I can wall run. I can dive. Good ragdoll there. Yeah, see, you can some voxel stuff going on there. And another cool thing I can do is flip. So let's see if I find someone to flip on. Yeah, I'm gonna flip on this guy. So I can go upside down, take him out, take him out. Yeah, so it's just like a pretty fast-paced, intense FPS, destructible environments, stunt system. Yeah, that's the deal.
Oh yeah, I mean this looks awesome. I only saw the trailer and some previews on Twitter, and this looks quite great.
Awesome, thank you.
So one question I had about the user interface: will it be configurable? Will we be able to disable like numbers popping up and all kind of stuff?
Yeah, so personally I like to play with minimalist HUD. So everything's going to be configurable. It's not in right now. I can't show it to you right now, but it's definitely for the release. Every element you see on screen can be disabled if you want.
Oh yeah, I'm also a big fan of just being able to have just the visuals, know as little as stuff as possible as needed for the gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, trim what you need down. And also, you might have noticed as I was killing enemies, there were these little colorful pop-ups. Those can be disabled. Will be disabled too. So let's take this guy up.
I mean the highlights, right?
Yeah. So it'll
Oh yeah, awesome.
yeah, it'll be like that dive kill. You could hide that in the full release. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you're saying you have story mode, and are there any additional game modes planned?
Yeah, so there's this you see those as I kill people, there's the numbers pop up. So that's used for a separate mode called arcade mode, where through getting stylish kills, you unlock. Oh, actually, I'm not in arcade mode now, so the numbers aren't popping up. But you do get there's an arcade mode where you get points that you can use to unlock things like special abilities for the character. Like you can unlock a double jump mode. You can use it to unlock new weapons, unlock new levels. Kind of similar to like the Call of Duty leveling up experience. There's a game mode for that. And there's also a level editor mode, which I have been using to show off the game right now, where you can go in and manipulate level geometry, either like modify levels that the game comes with or create your own levels. And the goal is for maybe not on launch, but shortly after Steam Workshop support. So you can create your own levels and share them with people on Steam.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I guess in summary, campaign mode, arcade mode, and level editor mode are the three main features of the game.
Alright, so let's get to the response stuff, the destruction. So can you do some more showcase talk about how it works?
For sure. So I kind of set up these walls here to show off the destruction. I have a little table here with guns of different calibers. So I'm going to turn off AI so they don't bother me during this. All right, so I have a metal wall here. I have a wooden wall here. And I have a variety of guns here. I have like a light caliber Glock, heavy caliber Desert Eagle, and a medium caliber rifle. All right, so if I take the Glock here and shoot at the metal, you can just see I'm putting dents in the metal. And the bullets aren't penetrating it. See, it doesn't go all the way through. But if I take the Desert Eagle, you'll see I punch holes in the metal. And
it's like video game Demolition Ranch.
You know, I haven't played that. I'll have to check that out. Is that
Oh, no, it's a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
that I do know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like Demolition Ranch. Yeah, for sure. That's a sick channel. I also love. I watch a lot of Forgotten Weapons too. That's another cool weapons. YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one too.
I love him. Yeah, so you can see that, and then the rifle, of course. We'll kind of do something somewhat between. And gravity does play a role here, so I can go crazy and rip it apart. I'm actually gonna quickly turn on unlimited ammo. A little unlimited ammo. So you can see that I can really tear this up. You saw it a bit when I was playing before, but there is this arm cannon which can rip apart the level. So this is a good way to open up. I mean, it can obliterate enemies, obviously, but you can open up shortcuts in the level, stuff like that. Pretty much everything's destructible. See, this tree is destructible. But there are level boundaries. So, for example, in this level, I set it so you can't go too deep. But on the other hand, if I go up here, I can destroy this floor. But I just pick spots in the level where you, like, eventually, yeah, see, so I can only go that deep. So that's pretty much the only thing that's not destructible, just to make sure the player can't clip out of the world. But other than that...
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's, I wish everything could be destructible, but you gotta have limits somewhere.
I mean, it's practically everything destructible, just some limitations for the level.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually you can't go to infinity.
Exactly, it's not an infinite game. Maybe the sequel will be infinite, not this one. Yeah, so I like, so this cubicle material is just made of like fabric. So if I shoot at the fabric, you can just see it goes and goes and goes and goes and all the way there. So yeah, different voxels. So kind of more of the technical stuff is the world is totally made out of voxels, so it's kind of like Minecraft. And if I can even swap to cubic mode so you can better see the voxels. So for example, for these fabric blocks, you'll see that these cubicles are just made out of boxes. And each box has a different material. So up here, this is a metal material, and this is a fabric material. And every material has a different durability, and every gun has a different caliber. So depending on the caliber you shoot determines how the voxel you hit responds. But the game isn't cubic like this. The game uses these kind of more angled shapes. So it's a little more organic looking.
Mm-hmm.
And the glass is made out of voxels too. So you can see that kind of taking the glass apart. You can dive through glass, which the testers love diving through glass. It gets to the point. So the testers love diving through glass so much. If there's ever glass that's like over like an infinite pit, the testers will always dive through the glass and die in the infinite pit. So I have to be careful to not put glass anywhere that's like a bottomless pit because they'll just die and jump through it.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I'm looking at this and I think before that, all the voxel stuff I saw was Teardown and Sector's Edge.
Yeah.
Both fun games, but this like takes it to a whole new level, and this looks awesome, and I just think there's a massive potential with voxels for gaming, and you don't have to look blocky.
I do,
as you can literally see here.
I do agree. I think as CPUs get better and programmers kind of think of new ways to use voxels, I think there's a really exciting future for voxels. Like I'm even thinking about the sequel for this. Thinking about smaller voxels and more use of gravity with voxels. So I sent you might edit this into your video, but I before I kind of finalized the feature set, I was messing with gravity gun to manipulate voxels with gravity. I was messing with glue guns to be able to glue voxels together, which aren't making the cut in this version of Severed Steel, but you may be able to splice in clips of that to kind of see what potential voxels hold. Cool.
So yeah, can you talk about how the system came along?
Yeah, so I originally got this system. This system is based on something for Unreal Engine 4 called Voxel plugin. And I initially purchased and learned that system to work on like a giant open world RPG, which just was, I think a lot of new devs try to tackle open world RPGs because it's just like such an interesting genre. And it rarely works out. The feature set's too huge. So I kind of decided to, rethink what game I wanted to make. And I've always loved first-person shooters. I've always thought it was weird in like an FPS where, I don't know, like you're at an office kind of level and you're shooting at the cubicles and the cubicles just don't even flinch. So I kind of
I agree.
Yeah, it sucks. I get why games do it. It's been a pain to make this work. So I totally get why a game studio would avoid it. But I decided that, one of the cool things indie devs can do is kind of take risks and stuff like this because we have smaller budgets. So there's just, there's less of a risk.
That's exactly what I think.
Yeah. So I used this voxel system and I tweaked it from before I was using it in like giant open world landscapes, and I kind of scaled it down to work in these tighter situations. And it worked out really well. That was about a year and a half ago, close to 2 years I started. Here we are 2 years later, and I think it worked out pretty well. I think the voxel system is a pretty good mix with FPS.
Yeah. Alright, so what are the release plans for the game?
So the goal right now is like a free early access demo within a month or two, and then like a full release late summer.
And where can people find the game and follow the development progress?
So Steam and Twitter. So Steam is obviously where it's going to go on sale. If you wishlist it there and follow it there, you can get all the updates. And on Twitter, I just randomly post kind of neat GIFs as they pop up. And also, I run a Discord, which I'm sure I can give you all the links for. And I'll kind of post some of the more kind of rough, really fresh content on the Discord and get people's opinions on it there.
Alright, thanks for coming. The game looks awesome, really.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks a ton.